Hello, my name is XPLovecat, and I'm back at it with another video for the series on being a new GM or keeper. Today I'm going to be talking about additional research you might want to do outside of the core rules to help you with your first session. The research listed in this video is going to be purely optional and really just based on the amount of time that you would have prior to running your first session. So if time allows and you're interested, here's a list of things that I recommend looking into just to help bring the system a little bit to life and help your confidence. The first bit of research, and the most important in my opinion, is additional context around the lore and setting of your system. For this, I recommend starting with the publisher's website, or even some core rulebooks have a section in their book about lore that you can learn a little bit about the history and background of the system that you're playing. Doing additional research on the setting and lore is going to be able to build your confidence in being able to answer all those weird questions that your PCs have, being able to bring the setting to life for them, and being able to improv when need be in the setting. How old was that gnome that we found in town yesterday? He was 25. Okay, so he's like a baby gnome. We probably can't trust him. He's inexperienced and doesn't know what he's doing. Actually, he's quite experienced, and I would say he's closer to adult. Got it. So he's more like 120 years old. Sure, he's 120. Now that I think about it, that doesn't really match up with the timeline you gave us. Oh, and I also forgot to ask, the river that runs through town, which direction was that flowing yesterday at 5 p.m.? Kind of on the same note, I would recommend looking into content inspired by the setting you're playing in. So this would include books, movies, YouTube videos, podcasts, anything that really helps to bring a different perspective of the setting and helps bring it to life for you. Oftentimes doing this is going to get you more excited and ready to play. On the subject of YouTube videos and podcasts, there are actually a ton of people nowadays who are posting themselves playing these games online. It may be worth your time just to check out a few people play the game that you've chosen, just to get an idea of the flow of the game and get a little bit of inspiration. Now, just a side note on this, it's with the intention of learning the flow of the game rather than a comparison. Lots of different groups are going to play differently, and lots of GMs are going to do things differently as well. So it's not for the purposes of looking at a GM and saying they're doing something better than me or I can't do that. It's just to get inspiration and see different ways of possibly doing things. Once you've picked out your specific scenario, if you're doing a pre-made, I would look into specific tips for the scenario and see if anyone has any advice for running it. Because as we know, pre-mades are not perfect, so looking up tips might be helpful for you. There's also a ton of content online in general about GMing tips, so it might be worthwhile checking that out if you're feeling any bit of hesitation. And the final bit of research you need is to look at any supplies you might want to play the game. Most games will only require a set of dice, but some might be better played with a grid or miniatures or something that could replace miniatures like marbles. Just looking into that will make you more prepared for the first session. If you found this advice useful, please subscribe and give it a like. Good luck on your additional research before your first session.